Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for today's yoga class. It is snowy where I'm at. It is very, very cold. I am grateful that I don't have to go out in it. I am grateful that I have power and heat and that I can still come to you guys today and we can do some yoga. So today we do have a full class. We are going to move and just flow. Don't be intimidated though. You don't necessarily need any props or anything like that. But if you'd like some props, I recommend blocks, bolsters, and blankets. And maybe just a mat. That's pretty much it. And if you don't have those things, don't worry. I have Miss Chai Cat here also. So she's going to be assisting today. So let's get started. Today we're going to start out in just a nice comfortable cross-legged seat of your choice. So go ahead, have a seat. Take a moment to relax the body, relax those shoulders down your back, maybe loop them up and back a few times. Sit up nice and straight and tall, maybe close down the eyes, soften through the forehead, soften through the jaw. Take a few moments here just to breathe. Nice big inhales and exhales. Let's let go of any stress that we built up over this week, any tension. So that way we can step into a new week just with more clarity and energy, and we can do things from a place of intention rather than from a place of stress and anxiety. Let's take one more big inhale in. Exhale, sigh it out. You can blink open the eyes to the room around you. And we're going to start to warm up our neck a little bit. So we're going to do some neck circles. I like to imagine a little marker or a pen or crayon, whatever you like to use to draw or write. Imagine that is at the tip of your nose. We're going to start out with just some very small little circles, imagining that we're drawing those with whatever utensil we decide that we like the best. We're using that. We're slowly going to start to let those circles grow larger and larger, kind of like a little ripple in a pond, until it's about the size of kind of like a restaurant dinner plate, we'll say. So kind of big. After a few moments of going one way, and once you reach that maximum, we're going to reverse the track. So start out big, those nice big neck circles, and we're going to slowly start to shrink them and bring them back in towards center. Those of you on the live, thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate it. And then once you get to center, just take a moment, breathe, see how you feel. Let's start to warm up through our torso. So I don't know, I know probably most people on the live here are younger. You probably haven't seen one of those old-fashioned coffee grinders, or maybe you have, maybe you use them. Maybe you're a connoisseur. But we're going to pretend that our torso is kind of like one of those coffee grinders, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's okay. So on an inhale, go ahead and shift your chest forward. Really stretch through your chest. Just push that forward. And we're going to start to lean to one side. You can go to the other side. You can come to the same side I'm going to. And then as we roll through the back, we're going to round through the spine, really collapse and bring your chest and your chin to meet a little bit closer together. And then we're gonna go ahead and roll to the other side and then back forward. So you can do this really steppy if you'd like, or you can start to really smooth that out. You're gonna feel that in your core a little bit as we stretch out through the body. So just some of these. I have no idea what's going on. My dogs are going crazy. I'll be right back. Nothing? It's apparently nothing, so we're gonna just let that go. I'm kind of expecting someone to come by, so that's why I was like, oh, maybe. All right, if you haven't reversed your circle, we're gonna reverse it, so just go the other way. Keep breathing. And once that feels good in your body, we'll bring it back to stillness. Take a moment to breathe again. And then let's go ahead and stretch out our legs. So stretch your legs out in front of you, long and away. We're not too terribly warmed up in our legs yet, so if you'd like to grab a prop, you can grab a bolster like I have here, or if you have pillows or blankets, whatever you have around the house is fine. You can just put that on your legs to bring the floor up to you. If you don't have anything like that around you, just bend your knees super generously. And actually, we can all start with our knees bent. Keep those heels on the floor. We're gonna sit up nice and straight and tall. Roll those shoulders back. On an inhale, let's reach those hands up towards the sky. Exhale, start to fold towards your knees. Try and keep your back as straight as you can for as long as you can. We're going to bring our torso to the top of those thighs. Maybe you can grab your feet. Maybe just your ankles, maybe just the back of your thighs. Wherever you fall, that's okay. Don't try and push yourself too much. You don't want an injury, so really listen to your body. If you'd like, you can start to straighten one leg and then the other and start to fold down a little bit further. And again, you can always use your props to help support you, because not everyone has the same flexibility, so don't compare yourself. I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm pretty flexible, but not everyone is. So go to your edge today. If you are really flexible, try and bring your nose towards your knees. You're going to feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings, in your lower back. Take a moment here just to breathe. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we're going to go ahead and roll it all the way back up. We're going to transition to all fours, so however you like to do that. I like to just come back into a comfortable seat and then walk myself back. We're moving into a nice little tabletop position here. Hands underneath your shoulder, very important. Knees underneath your hip points. Back nice and straight. On an inhale, go ahead and lower those ribs towards the mat. Lift your tailbone. Keep your chest looking forward. You're going to feel a nice stretch in your front body. On your exhale, press away from the mat. Start to roll through the spine. Tuck your head, tuck your tail as we press that back into a cat pose. It's appropriate for Miss Chai here. Inhaling, we'll lower those ribs, reverse it, coming into our cow pose. Exhale, press away from your mat, round it up into cat. Go ahead and do a few more rounds just on your own inhales and exhales. If there is one of these positions that feels really good in your body, go ahead and stay in it for a little bit. Take a few breaths. Move at your own pace. Wherever you're at, go ahead and do one more round. And after that cat pose, we'll bring it back into neutral. Now, if you are wearing socks like I am, this would be a good time to remove them. Let me reset myself back up here. I'm a little disorganized. Just because we don't want to slip, we don't want to fall, we don't want to cause injury. So unless your socks are grippy, or unless you feel confident in your abilities, I would remove any socks, just to make sure you're set up for success here. All right, so we're in our neutral position. Go ahead and walk your hands just one handprint in front of where they were. So it's going to be a little bit out from your shoulders. If you have sensitive wrists, push into your thumb, your pointer, and your middle finger to take out some of the pressure from your wrist. We'll tuck our toes under, take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, we're going to lift our knees up off the mat and then start to straighten through the legs as we press back through the heels and move into our first downward facing dog of the day. Now, if you'd like to walk your dog, since we're still kind of warming up our legs, you can, just by pedaling the feet, bending one knee and then the other. You're going to feel a nice big calf stretch, maybe a little stretch through the fascia of your feet. Keep breathing here. And if walking your dog doesn't feel good to you, you can just stay in stillness. It's okay if your heels don't reach the mat. We're working towards that. Take a few nice inhales and exhales here. Let your head hang loose. All right, let's move through our first flow. It's just a nice simple one, so don't worry. We're going to plant our left foot into the mat. On an inhale, lift those right toes up off the mat. Keep the toes dialed down, so your leg doesn't need to be clear up here or anything like that. Just nice in line with the hips. As you exhale, we're going to bend that knee in towards our chest, shift forward, look forward, and then we'll step that right foot in between our hands. Go ahead and lower onto that back left knee. You can keep your toes tucked or untucked, yogi's choice. Now this front knee to set up in our low lunge should be at a nice 90-degree angle. We don't want to overextend it, and we don't want it clear back here. So just a nice 90-degree angle. When you look down, you should be able to see your big toe. If you can't see your big toe, push that knee to the outer edge of your mat. So we've got our bottom half set up. From here, make sure your chest is nice and lifted, nice long back. Look forward. Again, if you need to, use your props, use your blocks. They can be on different levels. If you don't have blocks, come up a little bit higher and use your leg for some more stability. We don't want to be rounding and collapsing. So nice open chest here. Pull that right hip crease back, left hip crease forward. Breathe. When you're ready, we'll go ahead and tuck those left toes under if they're not already. Lift that left knee up off the mat. We'll step our right foot back to meet our left. Coming into our first plank, we're going to turn on those abs. So one nice long line from crown to your tailbone. You can always lower to the knees to come into half plank. Breathe. And on your next exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the belly. You can collapse if you'd like, totally up to you. Take a moment here, breathe, sigh it out, do whatever you need to do. And when you're ready, we're going to pin those elbows to our sides. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. And on an inhale, we're just going to slowly start to look forward, coming into a little baby cobra, warming up the upper back. Breathe here. Exhale, we'll lower it all the way back down. Go ahead and push yourself back to all fours. Tuck those toes under. Take a breath to prepare. As you exhale, go ahead and lift it up and back into your downward facing dog. Take a moment here to breathe. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. So now you kind of know where we're going. We're going to move a little bit quicker. All right, side two. Go ahead and plant your right foot into the mat. We'll lift those left toes up on an inhale. Again, keep those toes dialed down in line with your hips. Exhale, we'll shift it forward, bring that left knee in towards your chest, look forward, and we'll step that left foot in between our hands, lower on to that right knee. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Move into your version of your low lunge, whatever that looks like for you today. Pull that left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. Breathe. I'm looking out my window at all the snow coming down. All right, when you're ready, we'll plant our palms. Tuck those right toes under, right knee up. Left foot back to meet the right, plank. Again, you can always lower into half plank. We're going to breathe here. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the bellies. On an inhale, we'll rise up into our version of cobra. So it could be baby cobra. If you'd like to grow your cobra, press into your hands. Rise up further. If you feel any crunchiness in your lower back, you don't need to go up as high. So you don't need to come up here if it's hurting you. Stay lower. Also, if you're trying to muscle your way up and you find that your shoulders are coming up to your ears, roll those shoulder blades back. You really want to shine your heart center forward. Let's take a few breaths here. And then we'll release. Whew. All right, we're going to move back into our downward facing dog. You can go through all fours like we did before, or I'm going to show you another variation. So we're all going to end up there. So if you're not coming with me, we'll meet you there. If you're coming with me, tuck those toes under, take a breath in. Exhale, press away from your mat. We're back into plank. Inhale. Exhale, lift those hips up high and away. Downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Shake it out. All right, we're going to go on to our second flow. So on an inhale, we'll lift those right toes up again. Exhale, shift forward, bring that knee with you. Then we'll step that right foot in between our hands. Go ahead and pivot on that left foot so it's a 45-degree angle towards that left corner of your mat. And then as we rise up, we're going to really engage our torso and come up to standing. This right front leg should be bent. Again, keep a 90-degree angle. We don't want to go too far forward. That's going to hurt our joints. We don't want to be too far back either. So nice 90-degree angle. It's okay if this leg is not parallel to the mat. Again, we're working towards it. Everyone's flexibility in their body is different. We do want to square the hips, so make sure your hips are squared. If you need to adjust your feet, you can do that. You might need to shorten or widen your stance depending on your body. And imagine you're just pulling your mat with your legs. You're really going to engage those legs. All right, so once your lower half is set, then your hands can be at your hips. They can be at heart center. Or you can lift them up towards the sky, coming into warrior one. Keep your tailbone lengthened, and we're just gonna breathe here. Feeling nice and strong in our lower half. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we're gonna just fold back forward, find our mat with our hands. Step that leg back, your left leg back. We'll step our right leg back and come back into plank. We're gonna move through that vinyasa that we did before. We're gonna hold our plank for just a little bit longer than we did the first 2 times though. We're already warmed up. Core strength is really important. One more big inhale. Exhale, lower it all the way back down to the mat. Inhale, rise up into your version of cobra. It should start to feel a little bit better as you move through it, as your body gets a little bit warmer. Exhale, go ahead and lower it back down. I'll meet you guys in downward facing dog. You can come through all fours or through plank. Yogi's choice. Once you're there, take a moment just to shake your head. Take a few big breaths here, some sighs. All right, let's go to side 2. Plant your right foot down. We'll lift those left toes up. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, we'll shift forward, look forward, and then we'll step that left foot in between our palms. Go ahead and pivot on that right foot, maybe step it up a little bit. Engage your core, rise up. Check your foot, check your lower half. Make sure you're at a 90-degree angle. Make sure you can see your big toe. Make sure your stance is correct for your body today. Square those hips. And then you can choose your hand placement for your warrior one. Once you feel comfortable, we're going to take a moment here to breathe. Just feeling strong in our bodies. On an exhale, go ahead and lower it all the way back down. We'll pivot on that right foot, kick it back. We'll take our left foot to meet our right, back into our plank pose. This is actually our last plank, so make it your best plank. If you have been in half plank this whole time, maybe try and hold the full plank for just 1 breath. One more big inhale here. Exhale, we'll lower it all the way back down to the floor. Inhale, rise up into your version of cobra. We'll take a moment here just to breathe. Exhale, lower it all the way back down. I'll meet you guys back in downward facing dog again. You can shake it out. You can pedal the feet. You can just relax in the stillness. All right, when you are ready, I invite you to look at your hands. We're gonna make our way up to the top of the mat. I like to take little baby steps. If you like to jump or take bigger steps, feel free to. Keep a slight bend in your knees. On your next inhale, come up halfway. Keep a nice flat back here. Exhale, let it go. Come into your forward fold. Again, this is another posture that you can use blocks with if you would like to, just to bring the floor up to you. If you don't have blocks, then just bend your knees as generously as you'd like to where you feel comfortable in your body. The more straight your knees are, and you don't want to lock out your legs, the more you're going to feel it in your hamstrings. The more you bend your knees, the more you're going to feel it in your back. So you can also kind of play with that depending on what you're needing today. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, let's roll it all the way up to standing. Whew. Take a moment, shake it out. You can fix your clothing. Now would be a great time for a little water break, if you'd like a water break. I'm talking a lot, so I'm going to take advantage of that. It's also very dry here because of all the snow, so make sure that you are staying hydrated. Drink your water, please. All right, from here, we're going to start to walk our feet out wide. You can turn to the long edge of your mat. They don't have to be super wide. We're not going to go into any splits or anything like that. And again, pick an option. You might need to adjust depending on your body. Never be afraid to adjust. All right, we're going to go into a wide-legged forward fold. We're going to really feel this through our inner thighs. And again, you can have your blocks handy if you'd like to bring the ground up to you. So on an inhale, we're going to just stand up nice and straight and tall. Push into the outer edge of your feet. We're going to really engage those inner thighs here. As you exhale, we're going to start to bend forward from the hips. Try and keep a nice flat back. Imagine you're looking into a little kind of a reflective pond. And as we're moving down, make sure you keep a slight bend in the knees. We don't want to lock them out. So we're going to come down about halfway and then hold. So I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see me as I do this. We're just going to hold here, nice flat back. Take a breath in. And then on your next exhale, we're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Again, you can have blocks to bring the ground up to you. And they can be on different levels. If you don't have blocks, then only lower down as far as it feels comfortable to you. Again, keep those knees as bent as you need them to be. If you are able to get your hands down to the mat, walk those hands back towards the arches of your feet and see if you can bring your head down to the mat. You may not be able to, and that's okay. Eventually you will be if you keep practicing. But we're going to take a moment here just to breathe and to hang. You can even sway side to side if you'd like. You can just have a little bit of fun with it. Again, you're going to really feel that through your inner thighs, through your hamstrings, maybe even through your back. Let's take one more big inhale. Exhale, go ahead and sigh it out, let it go. And we're going to come back up the way we went down. So I'm going to bring one hand to my waist and then the other hand to my waist. And then I'm going to, again, we're going to try and keep as flat of a back as we can. Really engage your core, engage those inner thighs as we come back up to standing. Whew. Once you're there, you can heel toe, the feet together. Take a moment just in stillness, breathe, feel that rush of energy. We were upside down, now we're back up. All right, we are going to move into a little bit of balancing poses now. Don't be afraid if you're not good at balance, it's okay. If you feel more comfortable, find a wall or a chair or something that's very stable that you can use to help prop yourself up. And my other tip, if you're not very good at balance, not yet, look at something in front of you, just a little bit in front of you on the floor. It cannot be moving. If it's moving, you're going to move along with it. So just focus on that point right in front of you. All right, so I'm going to walk you through this pretty slowly. So apologies if you guys know, if some of you know what you're doing. We have all different levels here. So I like to take it from someone that has no idea, and then we can just grow it from there. We've all been there if you're advanced. So the first thing we're going to do is a one-legged Tadasana, a one-legged mountain pose. Mountain pose is typically this. You're standing straight up. We're going to do that on one leg. So to start, we're going to shift our weight to one side. Now when you shift the weight, it's going to be really subtle. We're not dumping weight. We're not doing the mom hip, the Beyonce hip, anything like that. We're not doing that. We're just going to shift. Very, very subtle. Slight bend in the knee. From there, maybe just lift the heel of your right foot up. Play with that. From there, you can maybe lift it up a little higher. You can play with maybe just dipping those toes up and down. And after a few times of that, if you feel comfortable, then you can just lift that knee up into your one-legged Tadasana. And if you fall out, that's okay. Just come right back into it. If you're up here and you feel pretty good, you can challenge yourself by doing some little ankle rolls. You might wobble a little bit, and that's okay. And then if you'd like, we can go ahead and put our foot down. Shake out your left foot if you need to. All right, we're going to do one more balancing pose on this same side. So again, if you've unshifted, shift that weight back to the left. We're going to move into a tree pose. Again, I'm going to start from the bottom. So if you're new to tree, maybe you just take your foot and you bring it to the inside of your left ankle and just kind of butterfly that right leg out. Maybe you're here today. Or you can slide that foot up to your calf. If you feel good there, maybe you slide it up to your inner thigh. Woo! And again, if you sway, sway with it. It's tree pose. Trees move. We're going to move with it. Just breathe, find your focus. Hands can be at the waist, they can be at heart center, or if you like, you can grow your tree, have some branches. Now, if you'd like a step above this, you can close your eyes and look up. I'm not going to do that. I'm good here, but if you want to, you can. Breathe, engage that core. Take one more big inhale. And then exhale, you can let it all go. Shake it out. If you struggled with that, if you were wobbling, if you're falling all over the place, let it go. Don't worry about it. It is a practice. It's not perfection. Every time you do it, you're going to get a little bit better. You're going to learn more and more, and you're going to work towards that. You will get there if you're consistent in your practice. All right. We've shaken that off. Let's do side two. We're going to move through that again a little faster. So shift to your right. And then we're going to play with that one-legged Tadasana. It's okay if your toes are just on the ground today. Otherwise, we'll play with maybe lifting them up and down or just having it lifted. Breathe. Again, you can do some little ankle circles if you'd like, if you feel comfortable. Notice the difference between both sides of your body. You're probably going to have one side that's a little bit stronger than the other. This unilateral work is really great to help to bring that into more balance. All right, when you're ready, you can move into your tree. You can move into your tree just from this one-legged Tadasana. So it's up to you. You can put your foot down and then move into it, or you can just move into it. I don't think I said this on the first side, but in your tree pose, make sure your foot is not against your knee. We don't want to hurt our joints. And if you're pressing against your knee, that's going to hurt your joint. Right? You can grow your tree. When I step down, I'm going to make sure that I don't step on Chai here. She likes to find the most inopportune place to set up herself. Ooh. All right, let's take one more big inhale. And then exhale, we can lower it all down now that she has moved. Shake it out. All right. If you struggled, let it go. We're not going to dwell on it. It's a practice. So we're going to do another little funky move. It is to help. We have things in our bodies called meridian points. You could kind of think of them as similar to chakras. Not exactly, but for the sake of class and not getting too far into the weeds, we'll compare it to that. They're energy points in our body. We do store energy in our body. Sometimes it's not always good, and we want to move that out. A good way to move it out is through moving our body. So this next move we're going to do, it's used in yoga, qigong, tai chi. It's called different things in different modalities. I call it knocking on heaven's door, but again, you may have heard it something else. That's okay. What I will say is make sure you're away from anything that you can knock over. Make sure you're not going to hit any doorknobs, things on the wall, chairs, people, pets, anything like that. Feet, again, you're going to have to play with it. They can be not super wide, but a little bit closer together. And again, you might need to adjust it. And then I have on a big sweater today, but it's not as big as what I'm about to describe. But imagine that you have like a big sweater on, but like the sleeves are really like extended, super long. And what we're going to do is slight bend through the knees. We're going to shift to one side. So imagine you're swinging those. Like if I took my hands and I put them in the center of my sweatshirt and the armholes were just open, we're just swinging them. We're pretending those armholes are open. It's probably a better way to describe it. And you're just going to move back and forth. And as you're moving back and forth, you are hitting the top of your glutes there, or your lower body, and then also the top of your hip on the other side. So you're just moving back and forth here. And it's a light tap. You're not punching yourself or anything like that. Our hips store a lot of energy, so that's why we're focusing on that area. And you're just going to move back and forth, breathing. And it does look silly. I'm doing this on live, so if you're not on camera, don't feel silly. You can also, if you're used to this type of move, you can also bring your fist to the top of your chest here, like right underneath your collarbone. It's called tapping. If you're familiar with EFT tapping, it's kind of a variation of that, except we're not talking while we're doing it, usually. So you can play between those. You can play with the tempo. You can go really slow. You can move fast. So play with it. See what you're kind of comfortable with. We're all going to do that for a minute. So if you want to take a moment just to reset, take a breath before we move into it, I'll cue you in. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to do this for a minute. So just get out of your head, focus on your body. Sometimes it helps to close your eyes. Just move back and forth. Breathe. Maybe smile. You can laugh at yourself. It's okay. You can laugh at me. That's fine too. And this is just gonna move and flush some of that energy that you don't need anymore out of the body. We're gonna do a little bit of hip opening once we get back down onto the mat. So that will help to support this movement as well. Keep going. Let me check my time here. Start to slow it down. We don't want to abruptly end it. So make that movement bigger, slower. And then we're going to come to just stand in a mountain pose. Take a moment here to feel, again, that energy moving through your body. Breathe. All right, we're gonna make our way back down to the mat. So I'm gonna come back up to the top of my mat here. We're gonna move back into a forward fold. So again, slight bend in the knees. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Shift those hips back, slight bend in the knee. Try and keep length through your spine. Inhale, we'll come up halfway, flat back. And then exhale, let it go. Take a moment here to breathe. From here, really generously bend your knees. Let your torso come to the top of those knees. You can lift your heels up off the floor, kind of coming into a little ball. And then I like to put one hand behind me and then the other. And then you can come to a little seat here. We're actually going to go ahead and come onto our backs. So as you roll onto your back, you can bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug here. If you like to roll around on your back a little bit, it might feel good in that lower back to release some of that tension. Then when you're ready, you can place both feet onto the mat. Try to see where I am on this video here. I kind of move around the mat, so sometimes I lose my video. All right, let's cool it down. Let's stretch out the legs a little bit more in our hips. So let's keep our left foot on the mat, knee bent. Go ahead and stretch your right foot up to the sky. Then maybe you want to point and flex that foot, maybe a little ankle roll. If it feels good, you can grab behind that thigh, maybe the calf, or if your flexibility allows it, you can use your peace fingers. They're going to be together though, just to hook onto the big toe. So it's going to be up to you and where you feel that in your body. Again, it does not have to look like mine. Take a moment here just to breathe. Again, you're going to feel a nice big stretch in that hamstring. We'll go ahead and let that go, but we're going to take our right foot, go ahead and just cross that over your left foot. So just the ankle over the thigh. Now again, we're going to work through different stages. We're going into a reclined pigeon. So for some, this might be where you're at today, and that is perfectly okay. If you'd like a little more, lift that left foot up off the mat, keep it at a nice 90-degree angle. You're going to start to feel a stretch through your outer right hip. If you'd like a little more, maybe pull behind that left thigh. You can bring those knees in a little bit closer to your center. Or finally, if you'd like a little bit more, you can grab around your left shin and really bring those knees in close. So choose your option. We're going to take a moment here just to breathe. When you're ready, we'll go ahead and let that go. Go ahead and place that right foot back on the mat. Take a moment here just to breathe in between sides. Compare both sides, see how they feel, see if you can tell if there's a difference. Right, when you're ready, we'll lift our left foot up to the sky. Again, you can point and flex a few times. You can do some ankle rolls, whatever feels good to you. And then you can start to choose your option. It might be there, behind the thigh, behind the calf, maybe peace fingers around the toes. And both sides could be different. It's okay if they're different. When you're ready, we'll let that go. We'll cross the left foot over our right thigh, and then we'll move into our version of reclined pigeon. So it might be here today. You might be here. Might have your hands around your thigh, or maybe even around your shin. Again, choose your option. Feel that in your body. I cue a lot of feeling into your own body because it's really easy to dissociate from our own bodies and to live in our heads. And yoga, I have found, is a really great way to get back into our bodies. And there's a lot of reasons why we dissociate from our bodies, trauma, other things. So it can bring up a lot of emotion sometimes, but we want to move through that so that way we're not storing that in our body. One more big inhale here. Exhale, let's release it. Take a moment here with your feet on the mat just to ground, to breathe, to feel into your body. And then we're going to move into our nice big hip opener here. Now this can be a little tricky. Again, I'm going to cue you for some different options. So again, it's going to depend on your body. So to start, go ahead and bring your right knee up. Keep your knee bent here. Now for some, maybe you can just grab the ankle, or maybe just a pant leg. Maybe you can grab the outer edge of your foot. So see where you can grab today. Wherever you can grab is okay. And from here, what you're going to do is kick that foot up towards the ceiling. So it's kind of a half stirrup posture, or a half happy baby. That's what we'll call it today. So again, maybe you're here, maybe you're just holding on to the back of your leg, and that's okay. Again, pay attention to your body, see what feels good to you today. We're going to breathe into this little stirrup posture. If you'd like, you can straighten out that left leg. I've got to move here. There we go. I'm too long. From here, we're going to go ahead and bend that knee back in towards our center. Give that knee a little squeeze as we let that go. And then we're going to cross that right knee over our midline. Stretch your right hand out away from you. Try and keep that right shoulder blade on the mat. And you can turn to look at that right hand. So coming into a little supine twist here. Breathe. One more big inhale. Exhale, we'll return to center. You can stretch that leg out long if you'd like. Take a breath, and then we'll go ahead and reset. So both feet can be on the mat, or you can keep that right leg stretched out. Again, yogi's choice. When you're ready, we're going to go into that half happy baby on our left side. So again, you can grab the outer edge of the foot. Maybe it's the inner your arch. Maybe it's your calf, maybe it's just your pant leg. Again, do what feels right to you today. Listen to your body. When you're ready, we'll kick the sole of our left foot up to the ceiling or sky, wherever you're practicing. Feeling that nice big hip opening on the opposite side. Breathe here. Feel into that stretch. If your right leg is still bent on the mat, go ahead and straighten it. We're going to release from that half happy baby pose. Go ahead and bring that left knee into your center line. Give it a little squeeze here. And when you're ready, we'll cross the left knee over the right. Go ahead and stretch that left arm out long and away. You can turn to look towards it. Coming into this supine twist on the opposite side. Again, try and keep that left shoulder blade down. If you find that it's coming up, don't go as far into the twist. Breathe here. Again, you might feel, it'll probably feel different from side to side. This side for me is much tighter than my right side. When you're ready, I invite you to go ahead and roll back to center. Stretch that left leg out long and away. You can recenter yourself on the mat. We're going to move into our final resting posture, which is Shavasana, or the corpse pose. So if you like to use any props, if you like to cover up with blankets or maybe use a bolster underneath your knees, feel free to go ahead and set up so that way you're in your most comfortable Shavasana. Otherwise, all you really need is the mat or the ground. Your hands can be on your body. They can be off of your body. If they're off of your body, try and take up space. Often we feel, especially as women, that we have to shrink. We're not doing that in our yoga practice, so take up all the space you need. If it feels safe in your body, you can close down the eyes. If it doesn't, then just soften your gaze. And we're going to take a moment here just to relax and to reset, to thank ourselves for showing up today and for going through this entire practice. It was not the shortest one. We did a longer one today. So just thank your body for showing up. Thank your body for all of the work that it does for you. Even without you doing anything, it does a lot for you. And we'll just kind of sink into our mats, let it all go. I am going to go quiet for a moment, but know that I am here. I'm holding space for you, and I will come and get you when it's time. If you would like to stay in your Shavasana, then stay as long as time allows. If you need to continue on with your day or evening, then slowly start to deepen your breaths. When you feel ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes, just bringing some life back into them, some movement back into the body. From there, you can place one foot on the mat and then the other. Keep your knees bent for now. From there, I invite you to roll to your favorite side, whichever side that is, and move into a little fetal position. You can use your bottom arm as a little pillow if you'd like, and just hang out there for a moment. Take a few nice big inhales and exhales, just coming back into the room around you. Finally, whenever you feel ready, I invite you to return to a nice comfortable seat of your choice. Please bring your head and neck up last. If your eyes are still closed, you can blink them open to the room around you. Okay, well, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today on this snowy Saturday practice. I hope you found it beneficial. I hope you feel a little bit more calm in your body today, a little bit more stretched out and relaxed. Be sure to please drink water. Make sure that you're well hydrated. If you are in an area where there's snow and it's cold, it's very easy to get dehydrated. So make sure that you are drinking that water, especially after our practice today. We moved through a lot of energy. That water helps to flush that. For those of you on the live, thank you so much for joining me live. I appreciate it. If you haven't joined me before, I do this every week. Saturdays are kind of new for me. We're trying it out, but I like it so far, so I'll probably continue to do this on Saturdays. If you came in late and you want to go back and revisit this practice, I do record them. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Shine On Yoga LLC. For those of you on TikTok, I think it's in my bio somewhere. It should be in my bio somewhere. And then I also usually post them on there when I release them on YouTube, usually in my stories. So that way you know when a new practice is up. If you are on YouTube, thank you so much for watching the replay. You had people with you practicing today, so know that you were not alone. And again, if you are on my YouTube channel, you can always subscribe and it'll let you know when I upload these practices. So this practice will end up on YouTube. It'll probably be early next week, as long as we keep internet and power with this winter storm that we're experiencing right now. But it'll get on there eventually. It's recorded. So I hope everyone has a great weekend, rest of your weekend. Please stay safe, stay warm, and I will see you later. Namaste.